What is going on, everybody? So, I'm going to just forewarn you right now, this may or may not have really anything to do with radios or networking or anything like that. I don't usually try to get too political on here, but it's not a matter of political, it's a matter of what's right and wrong. And the thing is what am I, 35 something, 34, 35, 36 maybe, I don't remember. I stopped counting after 30 because I was surprised I lived past 30. But anyways, this may or may not be too political. It might not be your flavor of watching, but you chances are a United States citizen or somebody that resides in the United States of America. And I have realized that our freedoms within this country isn't really free. It's more of your freedom at a cost, and everything has a consequence of your actions. Which that's life, I guess, is everything's got a consequence of its actions. But the thing is to have an outside thing try and dictate what you are doing. How is that okay? Somebody that you've never met, somebody that you have never spoken to, somebody that wouldn't even listen to what you say is telling you what to do. Whether it be on the airwaves, or it be on your own property, or the place that you're residing in. This is the freedoms of this country has been taken long before me. And now they have turned into freedoms with limitations. But why? Everybody's going around speaking the same issues. I'm sure a lot of you heard of this Richmond, north of Richmond song. But nobody is screaming a solution. Everybody is just screaming, yes, this is correct. We're sick and tired of being taxed. We're sick and tired of this. Well, if you're so sick and tired of it, do something about it. And that's the thing is it's hard to do something about it when nobody else is preaching what to do about it. Well, everybody always bitches that the government works for the people. That's the thing. You need to find like-minded people, that have the same things that you don't mind. Like-minded people. And even, not even so much like-minded people, just somebody that has a simple feeling of you do you, and I do me. It's that simple, But there's always going to be these people that want to throw it on somebody else that you've never met, never spoken to, and won't listen to you as a single entity. You yourself can go to the city meetings, the community meetings, and try to get something changed, but they're not going to listen to you as a single individual. The city that I'm living in right now had just made it legal for us to be able to ride our ATVs and UTVs on the city streets. Why is that? Because a group of people that had a common interest got together and spoke up to the city and got their ordinances changed. The thing is there are some things that resistance is futile. I mean, that's as simple as that. Resistance is futile. And it might not be the actual action of your resistance at that current moment that might become futile, but the consequences is going to become futile down the road. So let me put a couple of things in scenario here. All right. We'll start with the radio thing first, okay? Because this is a two-way radio network, and I'll start with that. You know, you could recite the rules and laws that somebody that we have never met before, someone we have never spoken to before, somebody that clearly has no efforts of enforcing or so much as going around and finding the problems. But yet they're quick if somebody sends a notice to them, somebody reports them. Now, granted, airwaves are a little bit harder to constrict because it's not like you're going to be able to pick up my little kid FRS radio more than a few blocks away. You know, so they're strictly relying on somebody to report the malicious activity. You know, they're going after people that are having radio problems, malfunctions, and sending out cease and desist letters. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I think it was over in Washington State or something not that long ago. The FCC busted a guy because his radio was just keying up and not doing a damn thing. It was just keying up and causing malicious interference. But it wasn't like it was actually the person. Thanks for letting me know. But I guarantee you, in that letter, there is going to be something that's along the lines of cease, desist, and if you don't, you're going to be penalized in some way, shape, or form. That's the thing. Cease, desist, or you will be penalized. Well, there's your resistance is futile. Me not stopping is now going to end up in me having a fine or some sort of penalty, such as this confiscation of my property that I paid for. You know, how is that right? You people are the ones that let me rephrase this, because I know my demographic on this channel, and it's everybody. A lot of it is from 50 and plus. You people are the ones that just sat back and said, whatever happens, happens. I have a gentleman that lives in the neighborhood, that I talk to frequently, and me and him share the same kind of views. But then when I actually said, hey, will you go down and just be a chair holder? Will you just be a chair holder? Will you go and sit in these meetings and be part of the people? No, I can't sit there. I can't sit there and listen to them, and you know, I wouldn't be able to take it. I would have to say something. And all I simply said was, okay, you can say something, but the thing is why do you yourself have to be the one to say something? You know, if you might have a problem with the way something is done, then you need to, you know, form people of like mind to conform to the way that you think, or have the way that you think. You have to get people to understand things. And that's the thing, is people don't understand. They work for us. I don't think they fully realize what that means. And that's the thing, is they claim you have power in numbers. So if you, and everybody, well, can you go around and get petitions? I'm sorry. Look at the voting. Look at what happened during the voting with all these mail-in things. We need warm bodies to show up and actually figure out what is going on. We need warm bodies to actually be present in these meetings for these people to realize we're here. We're the people you are serving, not the other way around. I look at these board meetings, and half of the board people can't even make it to their board meetings. And the thing is, too, yeah, they might show it online, and some of them might be public access where you can go in. But there's not very many people at these. Look at your community board. See how many people. It starts from the local level. I don't give a shit what these feds are doing out here, because, to be honest with you, that, they're going to do them. They are controlled by the corporate bigwigs. They have nothing. It's going to take a lot more than 20 or 30 people to confront the federal government on something, and you might be able to get 20 or 30 people in your local area. You have to start with something that you could potentially do something with. But by starting with the radio thing, there was, the GMRS Link network has, over the years, has changed quite a bit. And it has went from being a suit and tie kind of place, following the FCC's rules, and that's how we did things for several years. And there are people that are still with us from those days, and I kudos to them, because I don't think they've foreseen this switch of now you actually have the freedom. I myself, as the network administrator, do not care what you say or do on this network. That's the thing. I myself, and the other thing too, is I'm not going to remove you for that. The only thing I have as the network administrator is no Zello and no recording, except for during nets. That's entertainment right there. And that's the other part too. Is if you have a problem with something, like I say, you have power in numbers. Well, we have one network admin that has been going around stating he has been fighting for 3.5 years to get us to stop playing music on the airwaves, because people are not wanting to join his network because of it. He is getting emails and text messages from people for it. Well, that's the thing. Show them. I want to see this. The people of TGLN have the right to know that there are people sending these emails. I have gotten a few of them over the years, but the thing is it's only been like 2 or 3, maybe 4. Otherwise, the people just left. If they don't agree with what's going on, they just left. I mean, I can't say more than that. But this one dragged it out for 3.5 years, brought in a lot of different voices, and now he's just going to rip this community of voices away from us. A lot of different personalities, because of a couple of 10-second radio bursts, playing of songs. And it's a little sad. Look into the reason. Look into the fucking reason why we can't play music on the air. Look into the reason. And I guarantee you, I haven't really fully looked into it, but I pretty much can guarantee you the reasoning behind not playing music is because back in the day when these laws for these were written, it was, you had to play copyright issues to the person that's having the song. And so you needed to only be on commercial stations in order to play music. Well, the thing is we're 2023. There's the internet. You can pretty much download, well, who really downloads anything anymore? I think it's all streamed now. But you can pretty much get any kind of music you want at your fingertips. And, it's not like it was on the CB. The thing with the CB is people wanted to use the CB like it was a public radio station. And that I don't condone. But the thing is you can't really stop them, unless you have the power to stop them. Well, and that's the thing. I've watched these repeater clubs that I'm affiliated with on Facebook. They're having problems with the repeaters, and they're having an issue. And they're going about it the kind of the politically correct way. They are trying to say, shh, ignore it. Maybe they'll go away. We are aware of who it is. We've sent the notice to the FCC and let them deal with it. Okay, that's who's supposed to supposedly deal with this. We pay money for them to do something about it, but I don't, foresee them doing anything about it. But that's the other thing too, is they won't do nothing about it. So now you're supposed to do something about it. Well, what can you do? I've heard olden days where people would go and put a bobby pin or something in the coax going up. Well, now you're dumbasses in, property vandalism or property destroyment. If he blows up that radio and it's over a certain amount in your area, now you're the one that's going to jail. How dumb is that? Because I guarantee you, you did something here on property, on his property. Not only they can get you for trespassing, but, you took it into your own hands. And, that's going to land you in jail. It ain't going to wind him in jail for fucking around on the radio playing music, But I'm very just kind of fed up. I'm really fed up with the fact that everybody's got a problem with what everybody else is doing. And it's like, yeah, you could do something about it. And that's what this other network did, was he did something about it. He disconnected the entire community of people that he had with him because he was hearing a couple of second audio clips. Well, the thing is the people on that network, if they are truly wanting to speak with everybody from the TGLN and the national side of things, they need to speak up to that man, and they need to tell them that, hey, either you connect us back or we are going to configure our own hardware that we paid for to be able to talk to these guys. You have a voice. And if he doesn't listen to that, and he doesn't conform his stuff to be able to talk back to the national network, by all means, I will remote desktop into your stuff and I will get it going. Because you have every right to be associated with this. You have the hardware. He hosts a hub. Way back when, way back when, I still have this view personally. My goal when I started this network was to bring everybody together 24/7. Well, the problem with that is everybody's views and goals are different. So everybody started branching off. Branch off. And now everybody's complaining that it is quiet. Well, that is because now there's a branch of people that are over here, there's a branch of people that are over here, and there's a branch of people that are over here. Well, these people only could talk to these people, and these people can only talk to these people, and these people can only talk to these people. Well, there is only one person that goes to work at 7 a.m. on this side. There's only one person that goes to work at 7 a.m. on this side. But yet, they're here, and they're here, and nobody else is talking to them on the way to work, because they're here, and they're here. But if they were in one common place, they would know that everybody goes to work, or the two people would know that they go to work at the same time, and they would be able to communicate along the way to work. That's what's happening on GMRS. Is there are so many different options that you can go to, but there's not enough people that are in this linking to be like the all-star world, where you could dial, and even that I think is dying. I think even the all-star world, that's why DMR and all that shit's even picking up too. But I think even those, but I haven't been on any of that shit, so you can confirm or deny that. But this has been almost a 20-minute video. But that's the thing. If you as a single individual has a problem with something, go ahead and speak your mind. By all means, that is your right. But you gotta, in order to be heard, you have to be in numbers. And that's like I say, the California GMRS network decided not to connect to us anymore for this, and the admin of that decided that he's gotten emails. He has stated over and over he has gotten emails, but saying that that they don't like the music, that they don't want to connect to his network anymore because of it. And I wish he would show the numbers behind it. If there's the numbers, show the numbers. And that, the thing is I can't believe what he says is because he also goes around saying that there was emails exchanged between the network and him that say we don't want him here. Why not? That goes totally 100% against the GMRS Link Network's open door policy. The only thing we don't want is we don't want to be recorded, and we don't want apps in here, such as the Zello and the HT app. Is that too much to ask? We are a two-way radio network that uses two-way radios to communicate back and forth. That is it. All this extra shit is just that, extra shit. There's other places you can go to play with that shit. By all means, have fun. Do you, boo-boo, just not on the TGLN. It's a radio network. You want to start tying in phones, apps, and shit like that to it that's not meant to be, and then it starts sounding bad, then that's not cool. And I get it might not be any worse than me riding around being mobile, but the audio just sounds so finicky. But anyways, there's another one of my rants. I wish you would show the emails or the text messages saying something. Otherwise, right now, it's just a voice of one. And I particularly don't care about the voice of one. I'm going to play just like our city. I don't care about the voice of one. I need the voice of the people, the voice of the masses. And if you can't give me the voices of the masses, then why should I listen to you? I'm going to play just like the government on that aspect. Why am I going to start enforcing some rules that I don't agree with? I personally. And obviously the other people on the network that are playing these clips of music and sound bites, obviously they don't agree with it as well. So by all means, take your hub and connect it to wherever the hell you want. But the people on it are the only ones that are going to be suffering. The people from TGLN are the only ones that are going to be suffering because of the lack of the people talking back and forth. You are shutting down that connection between the people that you have underneath you to the rest of the country. And like I said, if those people decide that they don't want to be affiliated with that network, by all means. If you're a part of any other network that is tired of being controlled, I will remotely control into your stuff and get it configured to where you can go anywhere. You can go to any network. I don't even care if it's mine. You own your hardware. You should have the right to use it as you wish. And the thing is, if other people's got a problem with it, yes, you have the right to voice it. But voice it yourself. Don't go through a mediator. Don't go through somebody else. You need to voice that at the time of the incident over the air. If you are hearing this and you have a problem with it, you need to say something. It's that plain and simple. What the fuck are we going to do to you? There is nobody really that is close to each other than a few people. I'm not going to drive all the way to fucking South Carolina because somebody on the network played a song. What am I going to do? What am I going to do about it? Why would I drop him from something that he owns? Essentially, let me put it to this way. So this is going to come into my next story. I had a police officer knock on my door the other day, which is not a very common occurrence, even though I live right behind the county jail. So I had a knock on my door the other day, and it was a police officer. And he's pretty much telling me that my yard is a mess. And the thing is I live here. I own my property. I have a mortgage on this property. And, I should have the right to keep it any way that I want to. I don't rent. You're not going to go up to my landlord and you're not going to pull, I'm the government, you need to comply, resistance is futile. I'm going to resist. But according to this cop that came up to my door and told me that I need to deal with this problem that I don't see as a problem. And obviously they haven't. They have been in the position of an ordinance officer for 3 months. And like I said, I've been rolling past this, and I need to figure out a couple of different things. I need to find out how many other people in this town have had similar ordinance violations. I need to find out how long has that ordinance officer been with the ordinance division of the police department. They say they've had it for 3 months. If this officer that came to my house has been only employed by the police office, the police department for 3 months, why didn't he just get hired in on the ordinance side of things? Why is he wearing a badge and a gun showing up to my house? It was one thing, the little old man that showed up and I pretty much told to get bent. But now you're sending a person with a badge and a gun? Yeah, that's another thing. To tell me that they are getting complaints from other people. Show me these complaints, okay? It's one thing, you're getting complaints. Show me the complaints. I want to see the complaints. I don't care who they came from. Okay, and then the other thing too is, why can't you turn around and just tell them, mind their own business? My cousin says, oh, it brings down property value around you, because your yard is such a mess, that it brings down your battery is running low. Some features may not. Okay, I got to make this quick. It brings down property value around you. I've had 3 or 4 houses sell in my neighborhood since I've been here for 2 years. And I can guarantee you that all of them have went above market price because my taxes have went up, because they feel my property is worth more, because everybody else's properties around me are going for more. Mine went for a little bit more than what they have it estimated as valued. So obviously property values are not going down around me, they're going up. But yet it's a problem, my yard. So they have to say something. Well, I'm going to say something. I am going around, and I've, like I said, requested for other people in this city that have gotten ordinance complaints, and I'm going to try and go up to these people and bring them to these meetings and get them to, at least for the first part, be a seat filler to show we have the number of people behind me and the people that are willing to stand up. And I'm sure that there are not other people that feel this way. But like I said, when it comes to that GMRS network that took that group of people away, that group of people needs to decide what they want to do with their equipment. And, essentially what that network did was he told them, actually, he forced them to move out, essentially. He forced them to move out from the national network. And the reason why I brought up what I was just informed by the police officer was because his response to me not liking the ordinance was for me to move. That's not okay. I don't live in a country like that. I live in a country that my voice should be heard. And I'm going to bring it up to other people, and everybody else is going to roll with me. And I could be very convincing. I've already talked to quite a few businesses owners around me that on days of the board meetings, they are willing to close for the hour or so that the board meetings are on to give their employees the opportunity to go to the board meetings. They're going to be posting on their doors of their businesses that they are at the board meetings. You should come attend as well. And I am forming outside of these meetings to get everybody that comes to these meetings voices. whether it be a meeting via in person or Zoom or radio, whatever. We have multiple ways to communicate before the meeting itself. You don't have to be in person before. You have to organize. You don't want to let your municipality know you are organizing against them until you have a strong backing that you could now bring to them and say, we need this done. It's that simple. It needs to be changed. It needs to be corrected. We should have the freedom to do as we wish on our own fucking property. And the way the cop told me is, well, it's no different than the road. We have to enforce the laws on the road. But the difference is I pay taxes on the road. I pay taxes and a mortgage to potentially own the property that we are standing on. So I formed a formal complaint. But all I'm asking for, I'm trying to inform people that you have a voice, but it just has to be in numbers. And getting a petition signed is not as much of a movement as actually getting somebody to sit in a chair. If you can get warm bodies behind you, you are more likely to get things done in the manner of the people. It's not so much my personal opinion on it, it's the people that you are going in that room with as a one single entity. And that is the only way you are going to be able to make a change. Thanks for watching.